for tuning in. This is Kelly Gladden with the Kelly Gladden Show, and I'm here with Jesse Rojas, the CEO of Red Group, political consultant.
Well, originally business management consulting, which we still do. That's primarily our business, and I don't know how I come back to the industry, but this year back in political consulting.
It reels you in.
That's right.
And also, you have a radio station.
We have a radio show, so we've had it for over 3 years now. It's a conservative Spanish radio show on El Gallito. It's called Mi America on the radio.
Nice.
And it's been very successful. It's controversial. It's live. We discuss things that I think the Hispanic community, the Spanish language market community, a point of view that they've never heard before. And so that's why I think it's been very successful. And we're continuing, and we're building, a following and people that have actually come around.
Right. Well, the truth will set you free, right?
That's correct. And numbers don't lie.
Exactly. And also, you have been really involved with exposing corruptions in the union.
That's something that I'm very passionate about. I'm passionate in general on all conservative politics. I discovered the truth that I am a conservative. I am a Republican. I'm not afraid to say it or voice my opinion in support of the Constitution and my God-given rights.
Right.
But at the same time, I think I picked a niche or one specific issue that I saw that I could truly make a difference. And that was to expose union corruption, especially myself. I was born in Mexico. I'm an immigrant. So I can appreciate why this country, America, is so great and why I would never want to go back to where I came from.
Right.
And so for me to expose in California very similar, horrible, corrupt things between unions, special interests, and politicians, it's really my biggest passion.
And you can tell by the tone. It is, and I've known you for a while. These are some of the topics that we're going to get in. How did we first meet? It's
politics?
2012.
2012. I think one of the first times is we were going to the California Republican Party conventions. My first time, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know what I was doing there. We went with a lot of young Republicans. Well,
Devin Mathis slept on the floor before he was the assemblyman. Remember?
Yeah.
Javier gave him the bed, so Javier slept on the floor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, when you're getting started, right?
Yeah. I'm a mom. I remember it all. I had to watch all you kids.
Yeah, so you took care of us, and from there, it's been many years, but we still happen to run into each other in very random locations. We were just talking about it outside. I ran into you. Who would have thought? In Washington, D.C., at Trump's inauguration.
Right.
Hundreds of thousands of people were around those days, and I run into you in the street.
And the craziest thing is you have to pass through this little, it was a little park area where they had all the, I could call crazy, all the P-word protesters with the atomically correct hats on and craziness. So you're walking through, and I was with my friends Tammy and Terry Watson, and I hear you yell my name, and they look at me like, how do you know somebody in this group?
That was very odd, but that's how it works, right?
But we had to walk across the craziness.
Yeah, I got to see a lot of those crazy protests and the people, and I tell you, it's motivational to know you're on the right side.
Yes. Could you imagine if a Republican wore a hat like that?
I cannot imagine conservatives being able to do 10% of what the other side does and gets away with. Right. I cannot imagine.
And when are people going to wake up?
I used to think, I'll give you an example. I used to think, especially, California, majority Hispanic now, obviously. I would have thought,
So I'm a minority?
You are a minority. Wow.
Wow.
But they don't see it that way, right?
No.
According to most people, you're just a racist and a bigot, right?
Right.
But, majority Hispanics, I would have thought when they passed the bathroom bill, remember that? And we're still dealing with that. We haven't been able to fully take it away. I thought truly a lot of, conservative hidden Democrats would have rebelled and said enough is enough. No more allowing the controlling party to do this kind of crazy immoral things. I would have thought that was hard rock bottom.
Right.
But apparently not. We got now the gas tax. We've got, all the things that they're passing.
All abortions are going to be performed at all colleges, or?
Well, like today, I went to the Council of Realtor Women, the luncheon, and Shannon Grove was the speaker, and she was breaking down some of the worst bills that have already been signed this year and are about to be signed. And it's just amazing to hear what our politicians are focusing on in Sacramento when we got real issues.
Right.
Teaching kids in our schools some horrible sexually related things in sex ed, that instead of actually, like safe sex is abstinence, they're teaching some horrible presentation things that I don't even want to talk about. And this is happening in our schools, paid for by us.
What I don't understand is what happened to the concept that if we take it all back a notch and we work on values and we work on the family unit, shouldn't the parents teach their children their beliefs?
Oh,
I mean, I'm married and children, and I'm definitely a heterosexual. But do you hear me say, "Okay, I'm gonna go have sex with my husband tonight"?
Well,
I mean, how crazy is that?
Yeah, the world.
Can we march that we're gonna have sex?
The world's becoming extremely crazy. The things that are normal now,
Right.
Are really something that you should have been ashamed of back in the days. But going back to this, I agree with you as well.
Right.
Our politicians are to be blamed, and we should do something about it. But at the end of the day, it also falls under us as parents.
Correct.
To get involved in the schools, to go to the school board meetings.
Correct.
To talk to the teachers. To actually the parent involvement, especially in California schools, is at its lowest. It's pretty sad. There's no excuse. I understand you work a lot, sometimes 2-3 jobs, but there's
nothing more important than your child.
Exactly.
I mean, if you have time that you could cut off on your phone, that you're
Facebook,
playing a game,
the soap opera.
the soap opera. I mean, I'm not judging. I've been there. I mean, the kids are our future.
But
you have a 3-year-old. So are you going to run for school board? Perhaps.
Maybe we'll see down the road if something. They keep asking me for office, but I like where I'm at. I think I'm truly making a difference.
You are.
I do want to continue to do my best to find good people who deserve to be in office, especially locally. A lot of times we get caught up in the governor's race, the president's race, and sometimes the most important thing is politics that are local.
Right.
Our school districts, our city councils. Those are very important as well. And so I think we do need to take back the school districts. Even though Governor Jerry Brown continues to take away local control,
right,
we still need to fight.
Speaking of politics and stuff that's coming up, are you planning on running a campaign in November?
I thought you would ask that here. I thought you were going to ask me on break. Well, there are two that are public and I can talk about, and one is a very good friend of mine. I've known him for years. His character, his business savviness, and that's Brian Colebrook.
Okay.
He is a successful mortgage lender. He's helped, so many people in Kern County realize the American dream of owning a home. And I met him, randomly. We were in the same building in the office, and we share the same values. And then I saw how involved he got with the Kern High School District, going to the meetings,
right,
especially back when they were working on arming the teachers.
Right.
And then they were successful at that, but then Governor Brown took that away. And then I saw how he fought Dolores Huerta on the redistricting and the children sharing bathrooms. And I said, wow. So, he decided to run this year for Kern High School District trustee, Area 4. He is replacing Phil Peters. Announced he wasn't going to run after all. And Phil Peters is endorsing him, Brian Colebrook. And I said, this guy truly deserves to be on that board.
Right.
He has been involved for years out of no interest. He is a business person, so he has no other political agendas to be in office.
Right.
And I think that's the type of people we need, so I'm fully supporting Brian Colebrook for Kern High School District trustee.
And the second person that you're running?
So, a very good friend of mine. I grew up in Delano. As you know, that's where me and my parents came when we came from Mexico. And a good friend of mine, Noel Ayon. We went to high school together, and he's running for Delano City Council.
Nice.
Delano City Council has been out of control.
Out of control.
That's the least I can say, but maybe worse than that.
How out of control are they? Tell us about it.
You look at the budget. You look at the lack of transparency and accountability on the bonds that they pass. The promises of it will not go to the general fund, it's going to go specifically for water quality and water costs. Never happened. Highest water costs in the county, worst quality of water. I mean, not that
sexual deviancy in the schools.
Well, that, and then you also had some really bad sexual allegations between some of the former city council members. And you just look at their finances, how anti-business they've been. I know they finally are growing with the Walmart and the marketplace and the theater, but look how long it took. That could have happened in 1/3 of the time, yes.
20 years
and
ago.
they're just making it so burdensome for the small business owners.
Right.
And what I saw in my friend, aside from being a friend of mine for many years, is that he loves Delano.
Right.
Like, you have no idea. I mean, he's involved with the newspapers and the new online news media.
And the
he
chili
shares
verde
things.
pizza, the best.
Which one, though?
RJ's? Is it RJ's or TJ's?
You're talking about LRs.
LRs.
I
I just add letters to it.
I gotta step into this one. Why does everybody think LR's Pizza has the best chili verde pizza?
First place.
No, it's Tony's
first-
Pizza that has the best chili verde pizza.
It's the first place. Well, I said in Delano. Is there a Tony's in Delano?
Yes, there's two now.
Two now? Well,
Yeah.
well, a long time ago, we used to fly into Delano's airport
yeah.
and then go there to eat. And it was the first time I had chili verde pizza. And I believe that you love the one you're with.
Well, then you stick with LR's and I'll go with Tony's then.
The best
Some free
place-
advertising now.
The best place in Bakersfield, Tony's. I'd like a chili verde pizza, please.
Yeah, so I was very happy. You know, I had told them for years, you need to get involved. You're already doing it with no interest as well, because you love the Delano. You see the future. I mean, to the point where he doesn't even want to pursue other things outside of Delano because he loves Delano. His family's there.
Right.
You know, his wife, his daughter. And I said, you deserve to be in the city council. That's the kind of people we need. No political agendas. Cares about the city, the future, the jobs, the businesses. So I think I convinced him this year, and so he's running for Delano City Council.
That's outstanding. Now I want to hear about the ones that we don't know about yet.
Well, those are off break. No, I had, I'll be honest with you, I had one or two that they fell through, they didn't come forward. You know, it's very difficult for certain individuals, especially those that are small business owners,
Right.
to find the time, but at the same time
Or the
leverage
money.
the
Yeah.
potential backlash that you'll get.
Right.
Because we all know, especially how the other side is, the special interests, the unions, the Dolores Huertas, and the UFWs of the world. So it is difficult, but you know what? One city council at a time, one school board at a time. That's how I see
So
it.
she's speaking at the Democratic Women's Luncheon or
Who's
something?
this, Dolores?
Yeah.
Of course she
Are
is.
you going to go?
I would love for her to invite me. In fact,
Well, I'll invite you. I'm a female. I can bring a date.
well, you know,
And a camera.
And a camera. That's the beautiful thing about technology. You get it on video, you cannot lie. Just like that video that we got when, and going back to a different issue.
Yeah, we're going to put that on our page. We'll link it up so they can watch your video.
Great. Yeah, we exposed Dolores physically pushing a farm worker from preventing her from meeting Jerry Brown. For me being able to just voice her opinion, take a picture with her. And you can see it on the great video where the guy that took the video says, "Why are you doing this?" And then Dolores Huerta looks into the camera and says, "You know why?" With this like hatred inside of her. With a farm worker who's like 5 feet high, you know, who's just simply trying to take a picture with Governor Brown and express her suffrage in her workplace.
Right.
And this is a Dolores Huerta, the idol, the one that has the movies from Hollywood, the one that has, you know, now a holiday after her, a state holiday.
Seriously?
Yes, Governor Brown signed it. We have a Dolores Huerta Day.
I've never even heard of her until recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not a bad thing then.
No.
Becoming irrelevant.
I'm a minority. I guess, you know, that's...
Well, it's very unfortunate.
No, she's done a lot of corruption and...
Well, look at this is what I still cannot
She
understand.
came down here with all the money that we had to waste on the redistricting and...
Yeah, you know, we need safe schools, like Brian Colbrook says.
Right.
And yet we're focusing on wasting millions of dollars in lawsuits that she's doing, because no matter what, it's either her way or we'll sue you. 100% what I want or we'll sue you. But yet she talks about caring for the children and the kids and the minorities. Well, you know, I went to the one of the Kern High School District meetings and I spoke in front of a KGET interview, and I said, if it's truly that she wants Latino representation, then I have a lot of really qualified conservative Latino candidates. Will she take them? Of course not. It's about her leftist agenda, period. That's all it is. Not about the children, not about Latinos.
When did we used to, even when you started in 2012, the Republicans ate the Republicans. The Democrats always stood together, remember?
They used to, yeah.
They used to, not anymore.
No, they're having their own division, especially here locally in Kern County. I've been hearing a lot about that.
Yeah, I had Julie Solis on the show. Are you familiar with her?
I've heard her name a few times, yes.
Yeah, she's like stirred it up with Chris Crane and quite a few people.
Well, maybe some of them are waking up and saying, I'm not super extreme on everything.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
And Jeff
Well, we
Hines
invite
was on
you.
yesterday. He's a Democrat that's running for Board of Supervisors. I think he's really a Republican. He just doesn't know it.
Well, I think there's a lot of people like that. They're just afraid to come out.
You could be conservative and still be a Democrat. That's what I hear.
You know what? Some of the things that I don't understand is, I guess, your core values. I mean, I think that people don't understand what the parties stand for. And if you go look at the platform page and it tells you what the parties actually stand for, what is most passionate to you? Like, for example, if you're pro-life, there's no way you could be a Democrat.
Absolutely.
I
There's
mean,
no
don't
way.
understand it. Write me and explain how.
Well, and it's okay to agree.
Or how could you be a Catholic, Linda Ringel, and still be a Democrat?
You know, that's one thing I don't understand. Hispanics.
I don't understand.
The Catholic Church, when I see them advocate and promote a candidate who is a Democrat and obviously has a record of voting for pro-choice legislation, for let's not call it pro-choice.
Murder.
For killing
Murdering
babies.
babies.
I call it anti-life.
I call it what it is,
Murder.
killing a human, a life, a baby.
If I were 3 months pregnant and you were to shoot me and I died and the baby died, you would be double homicide charged
Correct.
with it. So if it's double homicide, why isn't it murder at the same period in gestation?
You know, and being pro-life as a young person is pretty tough because you shouldn't be, right? Because you're young. That's the stigma.
Right.
And so, but the bottom line is this. A lot of people at my age that I have small debates where we disagree on the pro-life issue, on some of the social issues, they're just focusing on some of the minor extreme cases which are horrible, such as rape and incest and other things.
Right.
But when you look at the numbers, the majority of the millions and millions of abortions that our politicians have promoted are not under those cases.
No, it's
under
birth
second or
control.
even third trimester. That's horrible.
If the baby especially can sustain life after delivery, how can you abort it at that age?
I agree.
I mean, and I believe that I read somewhere that the Planned Parenthood spent $20 million or something towards candidates this year that are pro-choice. If they're spending that money, why are the taxpayers funding them?
I agree. You know,
I mean, I don't understand. Does anyone else not understand that logic?
I agree that we should not be sending our dollars to fund something that we don't agree with.
Right.
If someone wants to truly have an abortion, they should pay for it fully and outright.
Right. Or go to a truly nonprofit group that does that. Well, that was a pretty hot topic. We should probably go to break and let you cool down.
Okay, sounds good.
Introducing the new California State Penitentiary Bologna Sandwich. Jail food sucks. Don't let your family eat jail food.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license is not going to suspension. That's something here at Braemar Law we do for you.
you enjoyed their tea break, right?
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. I know we should film a behind the scenes show.
No.
That's not a good idea. Stick to what you're doing right now, he's saying.
So, how can people really make a difference with the unions, or how can we make a difference in making Kern County a better place?
Well, I think we are fortunate enough to live in Kern County, considering the state of a lot of other parts in California.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we do have to preserve that conservative and vibrant and thriving economy and just values that we have here in Kern County. And good question, because I feel disappointing most of the time, when I see my generation. My young generation doesn't care about learning life skills,
Bring back home ec.
I mean,
they can't even cook. Can't balance a checkbook.
Correct.
Don't know what's right or wrong.
And we can't just blame the schools.
They can cook. They just put stuff in the microwave.
A hot pocket.
A hot pocket.
The good old hot pocket would always work.
And the morals.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many young kids have came up to me and said really immoral things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I thought my generation was bad, but I look at the new ones and I don't feel like mine is that bad.
No.
But the reality is that they don't get involved. They feel like, who cares? What does it matter to me right now? Well, most young people, what they want to do, they want to get a good career, a good job, make money, buy a house, buy a car. Well, everything that's affecting you in not being able to do those things successfully or as quickly as you want has to do with politics.
Right.
Look, politics is not a nice business. It's not a nice industry, but politics will always be around, unfortunately, and it's the way our government works. So someone, no matter what, will push that button and vote yes or no.
Right.
So why not contribute however you can to make sure the best person pushes that button?
The best person.
That's correct.
Right.
So, I always encourage young people, look, like we've done it, we've knocked on thousands of homes and gotten to learn so much about, our community and how campaigns work and how to make a difference. Volunteer on a campaign.
Right.
If maybe political campaigns is not really your thing, find an issue that you're passionate about and go. I mean, how many young people, honestly, have ever gone to the Capitol in Sacramento? Have ever visited a legislature?
Right.
Sat in a committee hearing and seen and heard all the crazy stuff that goes on behind doors. Get involved. See it in person. I think if more people saw it in person, they might change how they think and they might change how they vote.
Yeah, and it's almost like we're living in a reality TV show world. It's quick sound bites. Doesn't matter if it's true. It's what's sensational.
It's whatever is popular on social media and has been shared a lot. Which social media is great, I have to say.
Please share us.
You can share this. This is real. But social media can be good, but at the same time, it's overwhelming. The amount of information and the amount of things that we think are true on social media.
Just because you read it doesn't mean that it's true, children.
That's correct. And
right?
just because it's a meme and it's fun does not make it accurate as well.
No.
But social media is great because it has also allowed a lot of people that maybe do not have the big help of the mainstream corporate media to be able to get an issue out there. Like, for example, our fight against the UFW corruption with Pick Justice.
So how can we get involved and help with that?
First of all, like our page, Pick Justice, so facebook.com/PickJustice. We've been exposing a lot of the, not only UFW corruption, but at the same time the cronism with our state government, the ALRB, the state agency that we all pay for.
Right.
Which is absolutely horrible how a state agency funded by us will be on the side of a labor organization that is just hurting businesses, hurting farm workers, and destroying jobs. It's absolutely insane. So get involved. You can share our videos. You can simply, submit a letter to the editor about our issue. There's many ways that I think people can get involved.
Do you find that our local television stations and our local newspaper are becoming more and more liberal?
Yes, absolutely. And not just from what I see and I read, but it's happened to me multiple times as well.
Because it's quite interesting, if you are involved in politics, to be at the event and see what happens and to watch it on the television news.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor and he was repealing, I believe it was the DMV tax.
It was just another
crazy tax. Yeah, that now we have the gas tax.
We've got to repeal that. I'm fully involved in that, and it's huge for us, especially in the Central Valley. We drive so many long distances. It's going to affect us the most in agriculture.
And the wealthy, it doesn't affect as much.
Well, it affects
but they say, quote unquote, it's the Republicans or the wealthy party, so it doesn't affect us.
Yeah, the way they frame it.
So you would think that every Democrat would go out and repeal it. Would it logically based?
Well, you know what I'm seeing? I hope it comes out well in November, is I am seeing a lot of Democrats, moderate and not so moderate, actually jumping on board because of the gas tax, because they cannot believe how their own party and Jerry Brown has lied to them.
Right.
Jerry Brown promised we will not have a tax increase unless approved by the voters.
Right.
So this gas tax was
has he had
betrayal.
anything approved by the voters? Hasn't he just wrote into most of his...
Yeah, most of the legislation has been like that. But this really affects our people.
Right.
We need to repeal it, and we need to vote yes on Proposition 6.
Right. And if you want more information about Proposition 6, they can look it up.
Yeah, just Google repeal the gas tax and you'll find the websites there.
And also, do you have it on your link, any of your links, or we can link it to our page?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm pretty active on my Facebook page, Jesse Rojas to the point, and
to the point.
Always to the point. And I try to use social media as much as possible, Instagram, Twitter, because I think it's important for other people to start seeing a different side of stuff. And I've had a lot of people that have attacked me a lot. Call me a racist and a bigot. I mean, I'm the most Mexican you'll ever find.
I know.
Spanish is my first language.
And what's so funny now is everybody can do the DNA test. How do you know I'm not black?
Well,
no.
Now you can associate. You can just be whoever you want.
Yeah. Now I am really a panda. You
can do that.
I am a panda.
You can do what associate.
I know.
Whatever
And
you
how
want.
crazy is that?
That is absolutely insane. I mean, that shows where we are as a society.
Yeah.
Incredible.
There's so many crazy things. Some of the stuff that you think, oh no, wait, that has to be made up, and then you look at it and
it's true.
That's true.
It's incredible. It's like I'll go back to something I heard today from Shannon Grove at the luncheon.
Go Grove.
She's amazing. She is a great, not your politician.
Yeah.
She is just amazing. She's not afraid of anything, and she understands it. But she was sharing a really bad piece of legislation that even got me worried. I never looked into it this bad, and it's another tax on payroll tax. So basically, what they're trying to propose is that if you're a business owner. And let's say you make just an example, $1 million a year gross.
Right.
But it took you $500,000 to make that. Your net income is $500,000.
Correct.
Right. And so you get tax on your net income. Right. That's what you pay. Well, what they're trying to do, the Democrats in Sacramento, is on top of that, they want to add a 10% payroll tax. So, for example, if your payroll per year is $2 million. On top of paying taxes on your net income, you'll have to pay 10% on your total payroll that you're paying out.
So that's an extra $200,000.
Is this for the business owner or the employee?
No, it's for the business owner.
Oh, jeez.
So think about it. Paying an employee. Some companies that have 500 employees, 1,000 employees, imagine their payroll every month or every week. 10% on that. On your full payroll.
And where's that money going to be allocated for?
I'm sure the general fund, just like everything else.
And of course, they want to make it $15 an hour for minimum wage.
Yeah.
That's just
think about how many businesses and companies will not be able to survive that. They'll go bankrupt. They'll go out of business. That's the most absolutely insane thing I've ever heard about.
Or they move out of California.
Like many are still doing every day.
Yeah, we're losing more than we're gaining.
It's sad. I think people need to look at history, see what has not worked, obviously.
Right.
History doesn't lie.
Exactly. That's one of my mom always says that.
History doesn't lie. That's true.
It doesn't. And, look at socialism. Look at some of the platforms that people are... it would be wonderful just to write a check and pay for everything, but where does that money come from?
Exactly. People don't realize the government makes $0. They don't even sell shirts or sandwiches in the Capitol for themselves. They don't do nothing.
Right.
Every single dime comes from taxpayers, either employees or employers, period.
Right.
There's no other way around it. But what's more crazy and ironic about all these so-called socialists, or they're rebranding this, as local Mark Martinez, the professor from CSUV, says, it is democratic socialism. Oh, so it's just a new word.
Right.
You guys went from, progressives to now socialists.
Badass. Crazy.
The results are still the same.
Right.
It doesn't change anything. It doesn't work, and it will never work. And it's amazing how they're trying to frame it so that unfortunately, a lot of our young generations are thinking that socialism on campus, talking about it's cool. It's a hot topic.
It's because it's anti whatever their parents are.
They think, they just think it's challenging the status quo. No, we're gonna end up in poverty like Venezuela. I challenge all these young people that think promote socialism. Take a trip to Venezuela. Go down there. See how long you last.
If every person went down there, we would cut our population by a third, because 2/3 probably wouldn't come back.
Probably, yeah.
Or in a casket.
Well, they will come out. They will come back
casket.
crying and trying to re-register Republican.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of people don't come back.
That's correct. Yeah. It's.
I've been to
unfortunate.
Venezuela, and I went in about 2000, and it's. They have, for people that don't understand, they have all kinds of natural resources. They were very wealthy. They have so much oil. They should be one of the wealthiest countries.
Well, like a lot of Latin American countries, look at Mexico, my home country. I mean, so many natural resources. They should be very successful, but because of the government, the same things we're trying to bring to California and promote, they're.
I have a question. As a white woman to a Hispanic man from Mexico, if people don't like America so much and they want to change it to perhaps Mexico, like where you came from, why don't they just stay in Mexico?
I say it all the time, actually. I don't mind it, and they get attacked for it.
No, I mean logically. I mean, if
I agree.
No matter who you are, if you don't,
I don't even agree with being in this great country and promoting. Nothing wrong with sharing cultures. Okay, I still use my culture every day, my foods, my music.
Culture is extremely important. We should never lose culture.
But you know what? Really, a great example.
Knowledge.
Well, a great example I use is when the Dreamers, they were doing a lot of the protests, and you're saying we are from here, we deserve to be here, America stuff, but you're out there waving a Mexican flag.
Right.
Wearing a Mexican shirt. Mm-hmm. Try doing that in Mexico. See how long you last.
They will shoot your bottom.
One day I've been wanting to challenge myself and drive into Tijuana, into Mexico, with an American flag in the back of the truck.
My husband said, no, we can't do that.
Well,
I've asked you.
Let's see who's the real racist. If you look at, and I shared this on my radio show, I read the Mexico immigration laws as it's written. People could not believe that those, I didn't say that. I said, let me read to you some immigration laws. And I started asking my listeners, who wrote those? Where are they from? Oh, Trump. They're from the USA. And I said, did you know that this is from the Constitution of Mexico? The most racist, anti-immigrant laws are in the same countries that you claim.
And they have a wall.
Absolutely, yeah. And they absolutely dislike South Americans.
They hate them.
They deport them immediately, and it's ridiculous what we're trying to do.
It's hypocrisy, and again, history doesn't lie.
That's correct.
Look back at history, and people don't understand. Again, common sense. These are things that we learned in kindergarten.
But you know what I feel? What I believe, honestly, when they keep asking me, well, how come most of Hispanics, they keep voting Democrat, they keep trying to bring things that are bad and they ran away from, and I say, no, actually, you got to look at the numbers. I believe, especially in California, the majority of registered voters, Hispanic, Latino, whatever you want to call it, that vote Democrat, are like the Chicanos. They're the second, third, fourth generations. They weren't really born in another country. They can't truly appreciate. We
have Americanized them, and anyone that has been Americanized, they're all the same. They're lazy. I don't care if you're white, Hispanic, black, lazy. Yeah. Because we have
your ethnicity and the color of your skin does not define absolutely anything.
Correct.
Because I fully agree with you, and I say it all the time. There are lazy Hispanics, lazy Asians, lazy white people. That has nothing to do with anything.
But if you take if I were to take somebody from Mexico that has been here one generation, I can almost guarantee they're harder workers than most of the Americans.
Because we can compare. When you have nothing to compare, you're just entitled and you fit into the media.
They're so happy. I mean, I I've done missionary work in Mexico. They're so lovely. I mean, some of them have dirt floors and it's hard pan because they've swept it so much. So clean. Their last piece of bread they'll share with you. Yeah. I mean, kind, compassionate. The people that we see, no matter what color of skin they are, that are burning flags and doing the crazy stuff, they've become Americanized.
I agree with that to
I mean,
a certain extent. And they make us look bad, you know?
And that's not America being great. That's really disgraceful.
I agree. And like I said, once again, there's good and bad people regardless of the color of your skin and regardless of your ethnicity.
And really, if you don't like what is here, go somewhere else.
I completely agree with that.
And I thought all those movie stars were moving when Trump became elected.
Oh my God, I called them out. Like all the people that were like, for sure I'm moving. If he does, get out of here.
Please.
But they won't leave.
No.
They love it here. They're safe. They make money. They're the elite.
Right.
Of course they're not going to leave. They should leave, to Venezuela.
Right.
They definitely should.
Let's all send them to Venezuela.
It's incredible. What a joke they are, these Hollywood celebrities.
And everybody complains so much about racism and about slavery and about some of the hot topics. We have so much human sex trafficking of children right now. I mean, that's the slavery we should be discussing.
That is 21st century slavery, and it's a huge issue. It keeps increasing, unfortunately, in the United States, and it needs to be heavily addressed. That's very sad.
It is, and we can make a difference just by being aware. If something doesn't look right, say something. Yeah.
But you know what? Just quickly on that, who do we have to blame as well for contributing to sex trafficking? Also our state legislators, because they passed one piece of legislation, I don't remember the name right now, but they passed one where they're making it harder now for law enforcement to be able to detain these women. Correct. They have to release them.
It's illegal to question the minors too.
Exactly. When at the end of the day, they are being controlled, they are being harassed, they are being hurt and brainwashed. So unless you take them in by law enforcement, by releasing them back to their, captors or the people that are controlling them, you're putting them back into being unsafe. It is amazing. It is hypocritical and ironic how these legislators think they're going to keep people safe.
Right.
It is amazing.
And we can keep people safe if we have borders, if we have walls on the borders. We lock our doors.
That's right. I have a fence in my house. And I love my neighbor, but I have a fence in my house.
Can we go to that lady that I don't want to say her name's house tonight? We'll just go over to, your favorite person. Let's all just get a car full of people and just go in her door and we're going to eat your food and lay on your couch.
They wouldn't like that. They want walls.
Why not? That's hypocrisy.
Yeah, they want walls.
They can't even talk. So we're going to go to break and we'll see you in a few minutes.
I choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
We choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
We choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
If the best criminal attorneys choose Patriot Bail Bonds, who would you choose?
Patriot Bail Bonds. We fight for your freedom.
Patriot Bail Bonds has the best customer service in Bakersfield. Patriot has more 5-star ratings than any bail company in Kern County. Plus, we're fast and affordable. If you run into the law, make Patriot Bail Bonds your first call. That's right, one call, that's all.
If you're in jail, call Patriot Bail.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license is not going to suspension. That's something here at Braemar Law we do for you.
everybody, welcome back. So, it's truly been a pleasure having you here, and I know there's so much. We'll have to have you on again maybe next week, because there's so much to go over, and we all can make a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, just get out and vote, and before you vote, do some research. Not on Facebook.
I always say, don't believe anyone. Hear everything. The more knowledge and the more information you can have, then you can make your best choice. But do it on your own, independently, and always fact check. That's very important. But yeah, no. Once again, thank you for inviting me. I'm always, open and excited to come and talk about fun politics.
And I think we got a video. Did we, Goose?
I'm getting it right now.
So, we'll go over this really quick because I know you have to go because you're such a popular person.
I know. It's just one of those days.
Immigration. So,
hot topic.
Decades ago, people were sponsored to come over here to work. My husband works in the country of Oman in oil, and he is the king of steam, by the way. He's produced more steam than anyone else in the world.
Really?
Isn't that amazing?
That's awesome. I didn't know
Where's
that.
my crown? That's all I ask. But they sponsor you to work. So why don't we have like a big warehouse where we retinal scan or fingerprint, take some DNA?
Here's the bottom line quickly on immigration. And if someone understands immigration also, it's myself. I went through it. It's so complicated, and it's not complex, and there's both parties to blame on this issue.
Both parties.
You back in the days, for example, you used to check in every 6 months if you're on a visa.
Right.
That's the right way. You don't do it anymore, so it's easy to overstay your visa.
Right.
It was a lot easier, like you said, to request workers, because a lot of people just want to come work, pay taxes.
Donald Trump requests workers.
That's correct. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, look at our agricultural industry. They are desperate for H-2A workers, but government bureaucracy makes it so difficult to go through the process.
But perhaps we should put the homeless or the people on welfare to work.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have to put the
That's
people...
another hour.
Welfare's not supposed... Yeah, don't get me started on welfare.
Yeah, I know.
Welfare's not supposed...
That's our next topic.
It's not supposed to be permanent.
Right. No. And neither is minimum wage.
Yeah. So, I don't know if the video's ready, but I think we're going to be able to share the video that I was talking to you about where we caught Dolores Huerta in Sacramento at the ALRB's 40th year anniversary, where farm worker leader Sylvia Lopez, the one that's been fighting the UFW corruption, was trying to approach Governor Jerry Brown and take a picture with them. So we caught it on video where Dolores Huerta is physically blocking Sylvia from meeting Governor Brown. And like I said, you'll see it right now. When she's asked why she's doing it, she goes, "You know why." So, I don't know.
So why don't you come on my show and you can tell everyone else why? Miss, I'm not going to say your name.
She's going to physically shove her out of the way and not let her get near there, because this is a child, not a grown woman. I can't believe you're pushing her out of the way. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? You know why. Why are you pushing her? Why are you pushing her? You are pushing her. You're physically blocking her.
Well, wasn't that a powerful video?
Indeed, power of a cell phone, of a smartphone, and the power of social media. And I wish the media would pick up on all this stuff. I mean, there's a whole long list of violations, breaking the law, attacking the very same people that they claim to protect from both the UFW and the Dolores Huerta people. Right. And where is the media on it? I push on them all the time, and it just continues to show how biased it is. Right. The media, the mainstream media. They should be
even our local media,
especially our local media as well. Honestly.
Yeah, Mom, did you hear that?
So once again, thank you for having me, for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
It was truly a pleasure. And if somebody wants to use you as a business consultant, political consultant, they can contact Red Group.
That's right. So we just go to redgroup.org, so reddgroup.org, and you'll have our contact info. Or if not, the easiest and fastest way is social media.
Yeah. And they can go to your personal page, Jesse.
So
Rojas.
Facebook.com/Jesse G. Rojas.
Or your Turning Point.
I'm not involved with Turning Point right
Which
now.
one are you involved with?
There's a few.
No, the other one. Your
Pick Justice. They could visit our Pick Justice page.
I sometimes make things up because I don't remember.
That's okay.
I'm old. I could be your mom.
Well, thank you again.
Thank you again, and I'd love to see the photos and hear about his first day of preschool.
Oh, yeah, of course, I'll share him.
Yeah.
He's doing very well. He can't stop talking now.
Well, God bless, and everybody have a safe weekend.